Alright, get started this evening. Yep. How are we all doing today? A few things I want to get accomplished. We might not still figure out this sliding animation thing. Day. But we'll see. Not sure. So, I've done a little bit of experimenting. See what exactly, like, certain things I gotta do to test to make sure it's working. Like position on the. So, I have discovered that it is working. So, for instance, if we get rid of this tick, we do have boxes up here. They're not in the exact location I want, but they're close enough where I'm not going to be bothered by it yet. But that's controlled here. That's controlled here. So at the very beginning, they put in the location of where we want Scooby Snacks to spawn in at. Now we get to figure out this. So the tick is reading correctly. It's reading its target location perfectly. Now the problem is, why that's the problem is this part, the current. So what it's doing? So let's get rid of that. It's taking the thing that spawned in, the little image that spawned in, and then it's gonna immediately move it to the top left corner, which is not what we want. That's why we have this thing here, so that way it will interpolate over time where we want it. So this part here is okay. It's perfect. We don't need to mess with this. Target, perfectly fine. how I know that is if we bring that, put it in there, it'll automatically spawn. Yeah. See, target location is perfect. That's where, and we'll adjust it later when we actually get things moved up there. But it all in around, it's pretty much perfect. So we know that's perfect. We know that this part of the code is functioning. We know that this part of the code is functioning because if we, for instance, do this, move the tick function to this render opacity part here, we put that in, we can see that it pretty generally will move them off. So we know the tick function is working. We know that the bottom part of the code is working. The problem that we're having is figuring out the current location of the vector, current location of where the canvas and image is. So yeah, that's kind of like what we're trying to figure out. How we will do that. Other than that, it's working perfectly fine. Because I know last stream we spent, I don't know how long working on this. But now we have a general idea of what the problem is and what we need to do to fix it. And it's with this right here. So here's what that would do. Here's what that would do. Yeah, I can tell you one thing. It's going somewhere. I don't know where. Yeah, so screen position. So we need to get to the geometry screen position. So how do we do that? So this is my geometry. We're getting geometry. Putting it into a local variable. So where we gotta get the screen position. Yeah, that's not gonna work. That's not gonna work either. Maybe we need to go out of self. And then that's not gonna work. Get screen position. How do we get from self? How do we get from self? No, I'm not needing any play testers. But thanks for the offer, though. So how do we get screen position? Like we can get viewport. What can we get from viewport? So we can get the viewport size, scale. We can get the widget geometry, which is what my geometry here. I assume at least. What can we use? Yeah. Well, that's just that's it. We just plug in the same thing. See, so how we get the so that's not exactly what we want. Can we get anything from this? Get property reference. That's not exactly what we want. Get screen to absolute. That's get a copy. Get a reference. We don't need any arrays. Get pivot. I'm trying to get the transform. Put this as the screen position. I don't know if this will work. Doubt it would. Yeah, it's just gonna disappear somewhere. Where does it go? I don't know, but it's gone. Move this back down to 1. I really wish we could do like, I wonder if I can't make a string variable and say where you're going. That actually might not be a bad idea. How do I do that? I think it's print string. Print string. And like that. Okay. There's some negative numbers. Maybe we should absolute it. So why not just insert from your provided location to the location? Oh, that's a good idea. Why not check from your provided? See, that's the problem. There is no provided location. That's what I'm trying to figure out. What? Because this, like I kind of went over at the very beginning, this is correct. All this is correct. I just need to figure out where it's all going. See, it's fighting itself. That's what it's doing. That's the problem. It's fighting itself here. So I'm trying to figure out. Well, yeah, that's the current location, but if I set that at the current location, here, let me show you, it'll be easier. We'll just have hovering down below because it's got to reference that every single frame. See, it's just got to shake back and forth, trying to figure out where to go. See, what am I doing with this? See, this is how I'm getting the location that I want. So this is how I'm getting the location of where I want to start at. So the location that I have over here is the location, like start location. So when we have the problem, so how these values work, is that it needs the current location constantly, so that way when it's updating to find the target, it knows where it's at and then can adjust continuously based off that. While here, so that's what I'm trying to figure out is how can I get my uh current 2D location. That's wherein lies the rub on this. Because if I can figure that, see that this is not a problem. So down here, all this code I've tested it out. It's not a problem. This is what I want. This is where I want it to end. So like if we move this here, so that way it spawns in at this location, we can see that it spawns exactly where I want it to. In location is fine. This part, basically, I just need to figure out where the current location is. Because it's not like you can get a location, sadly. I mean, you get screen to local, but even then, you need to provide a screen location. And if you try to get something from there, you're not going to get very much. Absolutely. I mean, a good down and dirty way would be wherever this part is, you have it at the mouse location, and then the mouse location will just move it around. But that would be problematic when you collect multiple of the Scooby snacks. So that's why it's not a very good down and dirty way to do it. You see, there's something to do with like get hold on, I'm gonna get self easier to this. Like there's a way to make it where um like set slot as canvas slot and then get what is it? Get what is it? I think you can get like the um get assets, get values, get classes, but no, there's something here. Remember. Let me get one. But I found it online. Like, Something about getting canvas slot and then get it gets a location from here. Oh, here it is, get position. And then put it there. Maybe that will work with this like weird setup. So why is it like going to 2, 1? That's my question. Maybe do that. I'm curious. It probably will break something. See, it's sitting right there and rubbing back and forth. That is where the rub lies. Maybe just do that right from there. Maybe because this is a different setup than what I had, so maybe it still does that. So why is it? Why is it going from list location where I want it to? Do I need to absolute it? Because I don't think I need to power it. Maybe I do. Like, do another multiply note here and absolute it. I don't think I need to do that though. Yeah, it just does the same thing. But why does it do that? Is the question. Why do you do that? Like, we have the initial pickup location part. Oh man, there we go. Yeah. Anyway, it does not like this for some reason. Yeah, it doesn't like that either. It's set to 1. The interp speed is set to 1. Because if it was working, like I said, if it was working like I want it to, again, it would be in location would be right there, as it's nicely like staying right there. That's how we would know if it worked. If it was right there, it's not that like the interpolation speed's too high, too low, or whatever. It's not going to its true location that I want it to. It starts here. That's its location. Can I like split this? No, hold on. What is that? No, I can split it. Yeah, maybe this will be something we can come back to. Um, a little bit boring, annoying. So At least we got this part set up, and that's all that really matters. So what we can do is come here and just break that off and kind of that way they won't really do anything. And kind of just using this. Because we got some like there's like a wide range of things to do, like going from models and uh, other enemies to work on, like enemy AI. We can work on that. I got a few things transported over from the other day, so we could possibly work on that. Let's put a pin in on the Scooby stack and the counter for that. Yeah. So I pulled this up because I wanted to see what we did to make a animation machine. So we can have animations. So how did we do that? Well, we have. Did I put that? No, I'll just have rec character in there. Cool. Characters. Here we go. Black Knight. This is where. One of those I have here. Here's the Black Knight. Here's the Black Knight character. Where is his? Do I not have like any blueprint with him? Is it all just like running from this? Because I honestly do not know. So what is Pawn's owner? It says AI test is its owner. We got right character there. Sure, there's nothing on here. Got a couple of montages. Something that could be interrupted. Um, we need to redo this character anyway, so to do that, I just don't remember what I did with it. What is AI test? Is my question. Because it's not an AI. Okay, here is AI test. Where are you located at? That's my question. Oh, it's in okay, I see. So what is this? That's my question. What is that? So this is the move code for the Black Knight. This is a code for that. And this is its damage check. Once we defeat it. Here's the laughing montage. Okay, so it looks like we have a pretty basic setup here. So, so this is the AI of this. It's like walking, blah blah blah. I want to keep this as a reference because I want to keep that as a reference. So I'll go back to this. Yeah, pull this baby out for a reference. So this is its rat character moving back and forth. So now I'm gonna get to characters. I'm gonna pull a rat, and I want to create a blueprint class of actor. AI. I'll just call it AI. This pull up. You got the Black Knight character, how it is. There's the Black Knight character. Why is there a cube? Oh, that's the third person character. No wonder that didn't make any sense. Okay, so we have its character mesh. Set it for that. It has a spear. He has a spear in his hand, but we're not going to talk about that. So we'll go to that character. Not right name. And a character. Oh, what? Right. And then um, we need to let's go back to level process Black Knight. I don't think any of this is actually very useful. Let's go back here then. So let's go to the ABT animation blueprint. So we'll just need to make a wrap an animation blueprint. Let's create a animation blueprint for range. Call it wrap and cells and create that and so we have now a blueprint. We need to do this blueprint. And of course, make. I don't think. I don't think we need a default slot because I don't think we're gonna have animation montages. We need to make a state machine. state machine is lazy. So we need to do one for I. State for idle. We need to do a new state for walking. I think we'll just call it patrolling. Yeah, I haven't figured anything out yet. There's probably something simple I'm missing. I just don't work with widgets. So, we'll just call this one death. Get a state and then call death. And of course, this idle can run from list 1 to. I want you to step it. I connect. There we go. I think these two connect like that, but only death. Yeah, because there's only 3 animations for these. So like an idle, we have idle game. Where's the meter? We have rat idle animation. So now we have movement. But patrolling. We'll just have a walking animation. And then death says smash. Pretty much death animation. There we go. So that's pretty much it for that. Go to event graph. So we need to get this information. It's very simple. This character is pretty simple all around, so it won't take a lot. So we need to compile and save this. Then probably drag in the random character that file. Use animation blueprint animation file will be there we go. At least we have something going on now. It would probably be a good idea to, I guess, in these, set these to loop right now. This one will be kind of difficult. I don't know quite what I want to do with it. If we want to even think about, I don't even think we really need much of anything with that. And this one doesn't need to be looping. It's the animation, so that way it doesn't really stop. So yes, we'll try out here. Cast to rat. Just type it in. A BP. always fail. What are you talking about? I'm very confused. Uh, oh, you know what? Probably did. I just made this an actor. I know what I did. Whoops. That is my bad. First we want to make it a pawn. That was my bad. That's why I like the for character mesh, there wasn't anything there. I need a capsule collision as well. Let's call it capsule because I'm lazy. Rat is connected to that. And then we'll do rat anim and then animation blueprint. There we go. So now go back here, pilot. Now we have an error. Why do we have an error? Can't get that because that doesn't exist. Oops. There it is. That's why it wasn't working. So now we have access to the rat character. Perfect. Just perfect. So let's go back here. Sleeping. So you get a walking. And you make new variables. We need to make a variable boolean. Should we do it is idle or is walking? We'll do is idle. Is idle. We'll drag in that here. Set it. Right now. We're not doing anything with it, but it'll be there. So get is idle. So if it's not Boolean, if not idle, then it's walking. But if it is, hold on. If it is idle, it's not walking. Hold on, I got this mixed up. So not Boolean here. Now those two are contradicting themselves. Let's get rid of that real quick. And then another one is dead. And we'll just drag these two here. Save. And this did. There we go. So now we have our rat motion blueprint. It's rotated 90 degrees because you know what? Why not? Uh-oh. Your like pivot location is not in a very good spot, is it, Mr. Rat? Or maybe the capsule needs just to come up. Right, needs to put down. Anyway, there's our rat character in a like very bare minimal sense. So let's drag him into this. Let's see how he is. Because I'm the cutest. Well, his capsule collision didn't work, that's for sure. Why no capsule collision? Oh, probably because it's not. No. Yeah. It's more of a. That's my bad. There we go. We have a rat. And Scooby can stand on the rat. And jump on up and down on the rat. Good. Probably need to work on this too. Not tonight. But it'll be nice to get. I have it working at least. Like the way I like. It just needs to be tuned up a little bit. We have a rat. At least now. bless you.
Sorry.
So we have a rat. What can we do with this rat? That's the next question. So, in my rat character blueprint here, it's a basic move back and forth component. That's what it is. How long is? Look at this idle animation. How long is it? I think it should say here. Asset details.
Stop it. Stop.
That's not what it says. It should. Can't that be like part of the things we can do? Create column. Streamline 2D animation. Tank. Yeah, doesn't look like it. Oh, here it is. Type, import, number of frames. Guess kind of. So what is that? If we go 30, I don't know what my frame rate on this is set at. I assume it's always set to 30. So if we do 30 point, what's 0.4 of 30? We can say 1.1 seconds. Would be a decent delay. And this like starts at the very beginning of it. Okay. We can try to copy and paste the same thing we did there. So we hit play. Yeah. Move component 2. Now I have location 1, location 2. And maybe later on we can upgrade this to a spline. I think splines might be easier to use. But not like the best. Is there like a spline? Move on spline? I thought there was something like that. There's a draw spline. Yeah, I kind of like this. Add spline navigation monitor. Yeah. Okay, let's look at that real quick. What is that? Not really much, nothing there. I can look into that. I want to set up a basic thing right now, basic animations. So it's gonna move to, and then we're gonna have a. I don't want to build dispatcher. I don't want to. We'll do it is idle. So set. So after it's completed, it is idle, and that will cause a delay. I'll do 1.2 seconds. And then of course we're gonna after complete. There's probably an easier way to do this. To set idle. To and then do another. Yeah. So. And do pretty much the same thing. So you can copy this down. Control D. And then rerun this back. Make it this. Make this a little bit more visually appealing. We'll move some of these. So there we go. Basic rat move it. It has 2 targets it wants to move to. Move to those targets. Simple. I have here locations. Let's quickly add the component before I forget. Do the capsule component. Capsule component. Probably need to go here and go to the event and now get is idle. I'm wondering. My bird's moving. Why is it going up so quickly? Like it has a delay of 1.2 seconds. Like out. Let's make this 10 seconds. Oh, I see. Maybe I you have to do a knot. Definitely, you have to do a knot here because I think I messed up like booleans. The setting up this boolean. I don't know. Yeah, that's much better. Now we just need to make like 2 locations, local locations, and then the random loop. And we can need to make a construct where I can physically like move dots on the map. That's where it goes to. And again, we can make it a spline as well, so that way it'll be better. But that's pretty much the basics of this rat being done. We can go back to the rat character. Let's kind of see what we got here. Overlap box component with the 3rd person character. Okay, so this is the def section here. So when we jump on it, we get a +1 jump. but also forces us to jump. We delay a little bit for the death animation to play. Yeah, pretty much what we can do. Sounds very weird, but we can pretty much copy and paste this. Because all this is just pretty simple stuff. So we get this capsule. Yeah, and then what we'll do is add a box collision to the capsule. Depth. There. Let's call it depth box. We'll make it simple. And then we can say, let's draw down here. We can overlap. Specifically from that, all this happens. So let's go to the viewport and kind of edit this. Edit this to be do it like right here. Well, again, this needs to be looking a little bit more pretty, but it'll kind of do for now. It kind of gets the basic concept done. And we'll kind of, like I said, do a little bit more research. See, that already works. But now we need to do when we jump, we need to do add a new variable to this called death. Here. So and back here. Is dead. Here. Yeah. Yeah. that was a little quick. Yeah, we need to change this to like I think what it is like 1.2 seconds. Should be like plenty of time for it. We'll see. Stupid timer is alright. Yeah, 1.2 seconds. And we'll worry about like particle systems killing creatures and things like that later. But you see that? That was pretty simple. And we have a rat character take it. Just like that. Like I said, pretty basic. We have a rat AI that we can work with, use, and of course put a little bit more effort into it later on. But basic concept done. We'll keep this rat character here for a little bit. Gotta fix and understand it a little bit better later on. Cool. Alright, so I don't think of anything else to do with that. What we can do if we want to have a little bit more fun. I'm thinking we need to probably get rid of these because it's just kind of get rid of that. Get rid of this bat too. I'll just place it there. Get rid of those things so that way this scene gets cleaned up because this is main hub. What we need to do is go to no. Just go to level. Levels. Where's our like test level at? That's stuff for that's the levels. Work gate. No, those are menus for the work gate. 1, 2. Transitions. Oh, it's here. I forget. It's the third person map. That's what it is. Hey, yeah. Can I like make this like my no, I have to do it here. File. Right. Project settings. Main. Sorry. We'll make it the third person map real quick. That way, every time we come in, I'll spawn us here. We can work on things here. So, rat. Bring out the rat. Yeah, rat character right here. See how he's doing. So, there we go. There we go. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. Well, we can fix it much later. So we can go here, and we have the crab. We can do the crab. Make a new blueprint class on the crab BP. And then we'll add in this one. I think we can add it cute, this one. Box. We'll do a box collision. And then we'll add in a skeletal mesh. Crab. Where's crab animal? There we go, we got the crab. We got the crab. Of course, these are rotated 90 degrees. See, this one's location for the pivot is not a bad location. Right there. We'll scale it around. We're just scaling the crab now. I don't want to scale the crab. I just want to. Just do this. So I'll make it 25. Crap is a lot longer than it is everywhere else. 45 should be good. And of course, block all. Save. Then pull up and add a new animation blueprint. Grab the crab, create, grab, a state machine. Again, we probably don't need to add in anything for that. And it looks like the crab, yeah, it has a stunned animation, control, idle. So pretty simple. State, idle, drag from there, state, control, that's gonna be state. And we'll just name this stun because the animation's called. And again, same process here. Control and go back and forth, but they both can go to stun. And let's label these. Idle, come in here. And then we need to set it to loop. So we'll loop it. There we go. I have animation to crap. So smoothest animation doesn't look like it. Yeah. Control. Walking. And stun. Awesome. Go to event graph. Get cast to crab P. And then we'll do, of course, our variables is idle and then death. That goes in to set them both. I don't have anything set up yet, but is get there we go. And of course these death. There you go. Now I have those set up. Pretty much done there. Just get crab paired. What we can do. Let's go here. This is that what we do pretty much do the same thing down here. copy that. Paste it down here in the graph. We'll worry about that later. We can play. We can do 22, and we can add the variables. Idle, death, that one. So, here. So that one's done down there. Idle is true. Delay 1.2 seconds. That's complete. D to that. First, that'll be back on the move. Put that there. That's complete. We start this cycle over again. Move it over. Actually, I'll just add it out route node. That way, we don't have to do it like this. Okay. I'll say that. Go back to this. And then from here, we just get idle. Place it there. Get depth. Place it there. And now, get that set up. Now we can go back to the crab, go to viewport, and then we can add in another box. It's depth box. Put that. Put right there. And then we can go down here. We can begin to overlap. All I have to do is get the component. The actor. File save. And of course, can't do anything if there is no grab. And I will, of course, get the proper textures later, but grabs why are you moving? And why is my frame rate grabs? Why can't I jump on? What's going on with the crabs? What is going on? That's on begin play. I'm safe. Oh, you know what? I don't think I added in the animation. Blueprint. Yep, there it is. There we go. I got a crab animation. Maybe that will help. Look at the crabs go. That's not working because overlap all dynamics. Boom. Yeah. Now we can like add those to the scenes. I'm not gonna do it right now because I'll probably do it later. Because yeah, like I said, I plan on reworking that to make it a little bit better. Oh, I forgot I made my own sound effects for those. That's fine. We'll look out for the giant rat. I'm gonna jump on that one's head. Okay. Not bad then. It sounds stupid, but I will probably redo it. It's the best since we're on a roll right now. It won't take all that long either. Let's do the back too. That has a little bit more stuff to it because it's more has a little bit more of a like an advanced situation going, but state machine. Don't name my state machines, but yeah, okay. So we have a death, we have a flying, but hang, we don't need a hang. Gummed, gum bounce. So really, Bat has two animations. We have flying. Yeah, we have flying, and then we have death. There's a few more in there, but all in all, I can't do it though. I know what those do. Death. I've always used. Haven't really explored much into the Unreal Engine animation situation, so there we go. And we want this to loop. Death versus leave death animation. And the variable leave death. Are in youth. Yeah. Since it's already in use. because I like having my variables simple. This one we don't have to have since the bat flying is constant. We don't need to have anything like that. That. So we'll get a. What should this one be? Should it be a spear? I think it should be a spear. I can spell spear correctly. If I can spell spear. Like a spear, then of course we'll add a. So much that. Add in that skeleton. And also that animation loop. Rotate it 90 degrees. Yeah, we'll keep it a spear. First we'll make it and then really like squish down the sphere a little bit. That should be too. And add in a cube. No, it's called a box. I always forget that. Death. Bucks. And this one. Scale down. Above the bat. Death box. That. Get the death box. And we'll say on event begin overlap. Come in here to like crab BP, get event grab, all that. See, we go to that. Say, oh hey, we got all this for you. I don't think we even, yeah, we don't even have to change the depth variable or anything. Yeah, it's gonna make us do it. Oh, I don't have a depth variable. Just make it simple for it. Get the depth variable. Put it in layer with depth is true. Save. And then we need to go back to the bat blueprint. Go here. That's to that blueprint. Get death. And that way we can get this. Set depth. I'll say. Boom. And we're done with the bat. Of course, there's a lot more to do with the bat. There's a couple more things. Because like I said, the bat, all the other creatures, monsters, I wouldn't even say monsters, but all the like the smaller creatures is probably the more advanced one. So, not big of a problem. See, it just works. Putting, of course, the thought for development just works. But, uh-oh. Did I stack up jumps? Hold on, what did I do? I messed up the code somewhere. I can have unlimited jumps. The more creatures I attack, the more unlimited jumps I have. That's awesome. Ooh, I think I can make it. Let's do it. Ah, didn't make it. I know I can make it. There we go. That's awesome. That's awesome. I'm gonna pair this with the umbrella. Okay, how did I use the umbrella? Okay, it's cute. That's funny. Oh, that's funny. Do my jumps like stack elsewhere? Oh, they don't. No. Oh, they're only temporary. No. Forget about shaggy storage. Introducing jump on enemy storage. The speedrunners would understand that joke. Alright, well, we got that. We got a few things accomplished. We got a blueprint for bats, blueprint for crabs, so we've got blueprint for rats. Those are smaller enemies. I mean, you won't. I don't have the animations right way, but you can, like those, like that basic thing right there, can be applied to. Um, who can be applied to? That can be applied to the headless. Yeah. What's his name? I don't remember. Is it the headless horseman? I don't think it's the headless horseman. Um, I don't remember his name. Call him Headless Henry. Applied to the werewolf as well. Like could be applied to a couple of enemies, but you can look at the creeper and creeper would be easy as well because it's just a tracking system. You just track the player in the vicinity of him, and if you can't see him, well, he goes back to his idle walk. And same with the zombie. I think probably the hardest. I don't know if the fish creature, a sea monster, is going to be that hard. I think it'll be on the same level as doing the zombie, um, because the zombie has a couple of different states as well. So I think it'll be on the same level as doing the zombie. But I don't know. Do I have a zombie creature? I know I did it at one point. No, I don't. I don't know what that means. Become a zombie. But yeah. So that's the private for now. I guess if you guys have anything, join the Discord server and message to that, of course. But all in all, we did not any decent stuff here. Oh, that's why it throws me off. Why is it so bright? Here it's all dark and gloomy until I turn it. Why does it change? Oh, that explains why it throws me off every time I come on it. But we have invented a new form of speedrunning called, what are we gonna call it? I think we gotta call it creature smashing or creature jumping. Call it creature jumping. Can I get the dapper? That's awesome. But it's now a way that we can stack jumps. So, I mean, when you invent a new form in this game, it's pretty cool. Alright, I think I'm gonna end it off here. So, like I said, thank you all for watching. If you have like any questions or you want to follow along with this more, I'm working on a official like devlog YouTube video in the future. Actually currently working on it right now. I'm thinking of this, like writing out script wise what's going to be in it. I'm someone who more improvises on stuff, so it's a little bit more difficult for me to do something like that. But yeah. So, anyway, thank you all for coming in, watching, stay around. Yeah, much appreciated. This growing community, and hopefully it can grow a little bit more, and we can have like this big growth, like full support, like excited for it, and I love that because of course I'm learning, we're all learning. I'm trying to do my best to like show workflow type of thing as I'm doing it. So yeah, thank you all for watching. Hopefully I see you next time, and hopefully.